Fearless athletes who dare to ride these crazy bulls have made the PBR famous. You're always on the edge of your seat, with heart-stopping crashes and jaw-dropping moments. Today, we're diving into the most mind-blowing bull rider accidents, counting down the top incidents that have made history in the PBR. 11. In the middle of the 2024 PBR Unleash the Beast season in St. Louis, there was this epic showdown between João Ricardo Vieira and this badass bull named Doze You Down. During round 2, something crazy happened. As soon as the gate swung open, the bull pulled off this insane move. He bucked like a maniac and somehow managed to do a handstand. It was totally unexpected, but also totally mesmerizing. The impact was so intense that Doze You Down slammed João Ricardo Vieira into the metal structure. Everyone in the crowd was on the edge of their seats, watching it all go down. But here's the crazy part. João came out of that crazy encounter pretty much unharmed. He seemed to possess superhuman abilities. The announcer even gave him props for his incredible athleticism. And this incident proved how luck plays a major role in the lives of these bull riders. 10. In 2012, Caleb Robinson, also known as Pistol Robinson, encountered a massive 1,500-pound bull named Carrillo Cartel during the Professional Bull Riders event. A shocking video captured this terrifying moment as Robinson prepared to ride the wild bull at Madison Square Garden. Robinson was barely hanging on when the gates opened and the massive bull charged out. He managed to resist the bull's relentless attempts to throw him off for 6.50 seconds, but eventually he fell face first into the dirt. The aftermath was brutal, as Robinson suffered a spinal injury and broke both of his legs, earning the incident the title of Worst Wreck of 2012. The extent of his injuries was staggering, with a shattered right femur, broken left fibula and tibia, and 2 hairline fractures in his lower back. It seemed like an impossible situation for Robinson, who was thinking about quitting bull riding. 9. Even skilled riders like Brian Herman cannot avoid getting hurt in the rough world of professional bull riding. During a competition in Glendale, Arizona in February, things took a turn for the worse for the 38-year-old rider. He had an awesome ride on a bull called Roll the Dice, scoring 88 points. But when he got off the bull, disaster struck. The bull stepped on his left ankle, causing a really bad fracture that required immediate surgery to fix. This wasn't just any old injury. It showed just how dangerous bull riding can be. The surgery was a big deal and showed just how serious the injury was. But Brian wasn't about to let it stop him. He was determined to recover and get back in the saddle. After months of rehab, he made a comeback in Billings, Montana in April. 8. In the middle of the Anaheim Invitational, experienced Brazilian bull rider Ednei Caminas was on the edge, just about making it into the top 40 riders in the world. The stakes were high, and if he didn't do well, he could be demoted to the minor leagues. Things took a turn for the worse when Caminas faced the tough challenge of Ryan McClure's White Lies in the second round. In a nerve-wracking 6.8 seconds, the bull bucked hard, throwing Caminas into the air and slamming him down on his right shoulder. It was a brutal battle between rider and bull that would change Caminas' future in bull riding. After the incident, Caminas had to take a break for a few weeks to recover from his shoulder injury caused by White Lies. Not only did this injury add to his list of problems, but it also led to his being moved down to the Challenger Series. For Caminas, who was used to facing tough challenges in bull riding, this setback was hard to accept. 7. Zach Brown took on the challenge of the Nakarato Bucking Bulls All In at an event in Fresno, California. This bull was known for throwing off most riders, but Zach decided to give it a shot anyway. Well, let's just say it didn't go so well for him. In just 2.9 seconds, he was tangled up in his rope and being dragged around by the bull. It must have felt like forever for him, getting tossed around like a rag doll. And to make matters worse, his vest got ripped off during the wild ride. But here's the thing, Zach didn't give up. He fought with everything he had to free himself from that bull's grip. And you know what? He actually did it. With a determined look on his face, he walked out of that arena on his own 2 feet. 6. Ryan McConnell had experienced one of these incidents in Tampa, Florida. This time, he had to face off against the infamous Voodoo Child, a bull that's known for bucking off riders 98.41% of the time, making it the 9th toughest bull in the world. During the championship round in Tampa, things got really intense. McConnell got thrown off Voodoo Child, and it was a pretty scary moment. He ended up with a concussion and cuts on his face from the Bulls' powerful kick. The injuries were serious enough that he needed immediate medical attention. The training room turned into a makeshift hospital as they stitched up his cuts, showing just how tough bull riding can be. Voodoo Child is no joke, and McConnell's wild ride in Tampa just added to the Bulls' reputation. 5. In this epic showdown at the 2009 Kansas City-built Ford Tough PBR event, Cody Ford went head-to-head with H&D Huff's Monkey Bones, and it was one for the books. Ford showed some serious guts by riding Monkey Bones and scoring 78.5 in the first round, but it came at a price. Monkey Bones, being the wild and unpredictable beast it was, caused a whole bunch of trouble when Ford got off. The bull kicked him, and he ended up with a concussion, a cut on his head, and even passed out for a bit. It was a real scary moment, with Ford right under the hooves of that relentless opponent. But luckily, the medical team patched him up in the training room, and he was able to get back in the game for the second round. 4. The Pueblo BFTS event in May was insane. Travis Briscoe from New Mexico went head-to-head with the Tough D&H's Hot Stuff in the championship round. In just 4.7 seconds, the bull went wild and launched Briscoe into the air like he was defying gravity. It was chaos. The sports medicine team had to sprint into the ring to help him. It was so intense because Briscoe was so close to Hot Stuff's dangerous legs. The championship round was supposed to be exciting, but this was on a whole other level. After that crazy ride, Briscoe somehow managed to avoid any serious injuries. The sports medicine team really saved the day and showed how split-second decisions can make all the difference between safety and danger. 3. In August at the BFTS event in San Antonio, Matt Bohan got stuck riding a bull named Spitfire. And it didn't go well. In just 2 seconds, Spitfire threw Bohan off and gave him a nasty blow that knocked him out and got him tangled in his bull rope. It was a pretty grim scene after that. They had to carry Bohan out of the AT&T Center on a stretcher, and he ended up at Brooke Army Medical Center with some serious injuries. He had a concussion, his jaw was broken in 2 places, he had facial fractures, and his right shoulder blade was broken. Spitfire really did a number on him. Because of how bad his injuries were, Bohan had to have surgery on August 5th to fix his broken jaw. It was a long road to recovery for him, and he had to take a break from competing. 2. Canadian cowboy Tanner Gerlitz faced a dangerous challenge during a bull riding event in Des Moines. It was only his 3rd event of the year, and he had to go up against this super tough bull called Yellow Jacket Jr. This bull had a reputation for throwing off riders almost 91% of the time, so it was definitely going to be a wild ride. The situation quickly became life-threatening. In just 4.1 seconds, the bull lived up to its name and gave Gerlitz a powerful hit. He got smashed in the head by the bull's horn while he was stuck on it, and it knocked him out cold. It was an extremely difficult battle, and Gerlitz ended up with a concussion, a cut on his head, bruises on his face, and a scratched cornea. It had a really bad impact. Afterwards, Gerlitz had to get immediate medical attention. They had to stitch up his cut in the training room. But even after that, he still hasn't been able to get back into competition. 1. Brendan Clark had a super scary wreck during the BFTS event in Omaha, Nebraska. It happened during the 2nd round when he collided with this tough bull called Black Smoke. The aftermath was brutal. Clark ended up with a messed up liver, bruised lungs, and broken ribs. Black Smoke threw Clark to the ground and even stepped on him, so you can imagine how bad his injuries were. He had to go to the Creighton University Hospital Intensive Care Unit for 5 days to be closely watched. It was a long road to recovery, but Clark eventually went back home to California to keep healing.